Hi. So I finally found the time to repot all my Neofinetias. I have quite a few, so it was a job, quite a job. I thought initially that it will take me few evenings, but I was able to finish it in one evening. But by the end, I was like exhausted. And well, now you see them all in nice clean moss. But just for the history, I took a before picture. So you know what I mean when I say they needed to be repotted. Here it is. So here's what unpotting revealed. Firstly, I was really surprised that under that green yucky moss, the other moss was actually pretty fresh. I mean, this repotting is just, I guess, for aesthetic purpose, just so it looks nice and fresh at the top, because the bottom was fine. And they could probably stay in this same moss for another year. So I don't know if now I will be throwing away all this moss. Maybe I should reuse it. I'm not sure. And here is how they look now. A big difference, right? So I thought since now all this moss is fresh and still looks nice, it would be a good time to record the update on my Neofinetias, just to see how they're doing. I've when repotted, a few of them broke quite a few pieces as keikis, and so I've actually created a few pots here. They will go to their new homes soon when it becomes a little bit warmer. They're little keikis of Neofinetias that I will be sharing with other people, and those are the ones that I still have. Now I would like to go through each of them to record their status, just so later on I will see the progress. And so I understand that if you're not into Neofinetias, it might become quite boring, so you're welcome to skip through. And I wanted to start with this Neofinetia Keiga, Neofinetia Toccata Keiga, which is currently my favorite, one of my favorite Neos. I like the shape of the plant. It's very symmetrical. I want to say it's very precise, but it's probably not the word to describe the plant. But that's what I like about it. It has very pleasing to me growth habit. And there's variegation, and the variegation is random. Like one growth, that the bigger one, mature growth, has those nice stripes, and there are two new growths. One of them has very little variegation. See, there's little on the margins here, and this on this side it's green, but it might still develop some variegation later on. But on this side I have a new growth happening, and I just need to focus on it if I can. It took me a while to focus, but see, right there at the bottom there is new growth with a lot of variegation. I can see it. And a little bit higher of that there is a spike growing, and this plant actually bloomed twice for me last year. So that's another thing why it's one of my favorites, because it blooms twice a year, twice in a season. So this is Neofinetia Keiga, and it's a very nice Neofinetia to have, because it's not very big. It will fit any windowsill. It blooms twice a year, and I think it's a nice looking plant, all in all. Now this one here is Neofinetia Seca. I think it's a mutation of famous bean leaf variety called Morrow. And it reminds me a little general on a parade. It's very straight. The leaves are pointing up, and the flowers, when they come out, they also point up. They're looking up. And the trait of this variety are those little, I don't know if you can see them, but there's little white stripes going on here and there on the leaves. I read that they develop good on the sun, so I'm keeping it on the sunny windowsill, and you can see it right there. There are a few white stripes on the leaves. So this is my Seca. It has one mature growth and one baby, and you can see there is a new root, which, oh damn, what's with my focus? There's a new root that is pink, cute and pink. The next one I want to show is Neofinetia falcata Benheineman. And the interesting thing about this one is that it has normally kind of variegation, very subtle yellow-white variegation. But as leaves mature and become older, it becomes red. See? There are red margins on the leaves, which I find very neat. It's like bottom part of the plant has red variegation, but top part, the new leaves, have a normal yellow variegation. And those red stripes, they're better pronounced when you put it on a colder environment. So I have these nice red stripes right now because my plant was wintering on a sunny windowsill. So if you have this plant and the red does not show as much, then try to give it more light and colder temperatures. I assume that during summer this red might disappear or not, I don't know yet. We'll see. And there at the bottom something is growing. You see? There's something growing in between the leaves. And I haven't decided yet whether it's a new spike or new growth. It's hard to say now. I'm not a big expert yet, so I can't, at this stage, I cannot say what it is. But either will be exciting for me, because it would be nice to have a big specimen plant with these red stripes. Now this large plant is Neofinetia Benheineman, and as far as I read, this is the hybrid. It's not just Neofinetia species. It's a hybrid of Neofinetias, probably with Ascacentrum maybe, and it should produce the pink flowers. So it never bloomed for me yet. I haven't seen the flowers, so I'm hoping. I was keeping it on a colder windowsill. All of them actually spent winter on a windowsill close to the glass, and I was allowing them to dry, to get very dry between waterings, because that's how, well, people say that if they kept dry and cold, they will get better flowering. That's what I'm hoping for. It produced me love cakeys, and yeah, we'll see. And you notice that this moss mound, some of my orchids have it taller and some have smaller. That depends on the size of the roots, because what I noticed with these pots, there is a hole, and last year through the growing season, lots of roots just did grow through and started to touch the shelf. So I had to lift them up, and so I had to actually make this big mound to leave the roots enough space in the pot to grow in. So you see, like, this one has very long roots, and my Seca too, it created a lot of long roots, so I had to lift it up. Okay, so this one was Benheineman. This one here is Neofinetia Shoujo. This one was given to me by Rasketzel. Actually, that Benheineman too. She gave me 2 Neofinetias a couple years ago. So I'm waiting for blooms on this one as well. I kept it on a cold windowsill through the window, and it's doing great. It's creating me new growth, and there are new roots. See, they woke up actually, and they're pink. This is one that they call ruby roots variety. The pink roots, very pretty. This one here is Neofinetia Toccata, and it grew so much keikis last year that when I started repotting, they fell apart. Whole plant basically fell apart, and so I created these 2 little pots for Rasketzel and Lucy the cat. They will get Kutsuwamushi each. There's a little keiki and a start of new growth, so it should be fine. They have nice roots in there in a pot. And this is my main plant, which still has 1 keiki growing here on this side, and 1 keiki growing on this side. And initially I bought this plant for the blooms, because their blooms, the spurs create, well, the pictures that I saw on the internet, the spur should create nice round hook, which makes the flowers look very pretty and unusual. Well, this blooming that I had, the hooks were not very round, and the flowers look a bit messy to me. They were not as nice as I expected. So I decided to see what's gonna happen next year. I mean, this year. I do understand that the picture that because Neofinetia varieties doesn't mean it's a clone, right? So it's just the plant with the same traits. So whatever picture of the flower you see on the internet, it's not guaranteed that your Neofinetia with the same name will have exactly the same flower. So, well, we'll see what this year flowers will show. But the plant is doing great. It's growing nicely, it's creating babies, and I hope for a spike this year too. It didn't seem too hard to bloom for me. This is my Neofinetia falcata Yashima, and this is one of my favorites also. Actually, I shouldn't say that, they all my favorites, that's why I have them, right? That's why I bought them. But this one has very different shape. See, the leaves are a bit longer and a bit slender, and they curve a little bit down. And so it makes the plant look kind of like graceful to me, like little ballerina. I don't know if you can compare the plant to it and say it's graceful, but that's what I feel when I look at it. And there is a bit of variegation. There's supposed to be a very subtle stripes at the tips of the leaves. Now, I have a bit of a red color, like purple patches. That's because I was having it on a sunny windowsill. Now I moved it. Now it's covered by this big plant, the tessellata. It's in the shade there. So I'm hoping to fix those purple patches. I don't really like them that much. So I hope less sun will fix the leaves and they will be just green with slight variegation. So that's my Yashima, and there's a little new growth growing on the side. And there are some new roots started to appear. Now this is the time for Neofinetia roots to wake up. And so some of them are grown for the roots, like ruby roots or mud color roots or, I don't know, green roots. So Yashima. The next one is another Shima variety. Shima is a type of variegation. They're kind of random stripes. And this one is Asahiden. It's a very old variety. I bought it as a one growth, and I think there's something growing there. I'm not sure yet whether it's new growth or new spike. Again, I'm not good at telling at this point of my expertise. So we'll see what it is. I will be happy to have either. This is Asahiden and nice Shima variegation. It's supposed to clump easily, this plant. That's what I read. So I'm looking forward to have a nice clump of variegated Neofinetia. And we'll see how true it is. This is my Neofinetia falcata tamakongo. This is very common bean leaf variety. I find it very cute, and I'm waiting for it to grow into a large specimen. It produced me some keikis here on the side. So when it grows larger, there will be lots of columns of the leaves stuck together, which should create nice look on this flower, on this plant. And it did not flower for me yet, so I'm still waiting for it to bloom. Maybe this year, because this year I was following the the best practice for creating the blooms on Neofinetia, so we'll see if it worked or not. This is Neofinetia falcata tamakongo. It did produce lots of new fans. Now this is my cutest variety of Neofinetias, Neofinetia falcata sensai. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 growths planned. It's not easy to grow actually, because I found it, actually I think it had 6 growths before when I bought it, and I was able to kill 2 little growths by rotting them. But now it seems like it was just losing leaves. The leaves would go yellow and drop. But these remaining 4 growths, they're doing good. They're growing new leaves now. And when I was repotting, there was lots of roots. So I think it probably fixed itself. The blooms, if they ever come, they will look very large comparing to the actual plant. I hope to see the blooms in this one too. So this is Neofinetia falcata sensai. This is Neofinetia onami Seca. It's kind of like a Seca, very famous variety, but the leaves are a little bit larger, and I think the flower is a bit different color. But it is a messy growing plant. It's not symmetrical. You see the leaves are going into each direction and they're curling down. I'm not sure if I like it. It's interesting. I do prefer the more symmetrical growth on Neofinetias, but I'd like to keep this one too, just to have something different. It grows nicely, and it produced me a few keikis there. So I'll wait until the plant fills up, and it might look better when there's more leaves on it. So that's Anami Sekai. This is the last Neofinetia I have here. This is Neofinetia falcata coca, and there are actually two plants. They're seedlings. I grow them from flask, and as far as I know, this is a hybrid. This is a hybrid of Neofinetia with probably Ascacentrum, because the flower is supposed to be yellow, and it's doing well. The flask didn't have a good story, because I was able to kill almost all of them. I think I got 6 left at some point, then I gave away some, and these 2 plants that I decided to keep. And look, one of them grew a new growth, and there are new roots growing, so finally I think it's doing okay. It's safe to say that I did succeed with this one. Not exactly Neofinetia, but I bought it together with Neofinetia and I give it the same treatment. This is Sumiriya Japonica, Minmaru Shima. I find that I have more yellow than green on this plant. I don't know why. It never bloomed for me, and I'm not sure how to make it bloom. I did keep it on a cold windowsill and dryer, but I don't see any signs of spike yet. So if anybody has suggestion on how to make it bloom, please let me know. I'd like to see flowers on this little plant. I think it would look awesome. Small plant with large spike. Just don't know how to make it. And here are 2 more Neofinetias that are isolated. They're not allowed to be with everybody else because they have scale. I'm fighting with scale on these 2 plants for like month and month, and it keeps coming back. They are potted into temporarily pots right now, not nice Neofinetia pots, because I keep repotting them. I tried Safer Sand Oil solution. I tried horticultural oil. I tried bleaching. That's what Ed's Orchid does. I do wipe with alcohol, and the stupid scale keeps coming back. So I'm not sure what to do. This one is Seiyonishiki, a very nice Shima variety, which I paid quite a lot for. So I would like to save these orchids because I really like these stripes, right? It's a very nice variegation on this plant. And another one is Kinkujaku, which also able to create nice tiger stripes. See, that's a tiger variety. It created me lots of babies. It used to be just 2 growth plant. Now there's many growth. It should look spectacular when they all mature, but scale wouldn't let them do that, I guess. So I'm not sure yet if my fight with scale will be successful. If you know any good solution for the scale on Neofinetias, please let me know, because I'm kind of desperate here. So this was my little longish tour of my Neofinetia collection. While I was reporting them, somehow I looked at the current price list of Flora Piculia, our Canadian vendor, Neofinetia vendor, and I ended up ordering more. They should arrive next week, I think. So please stay tuned for more Neofinetia additions. And thank you for watching and have a nice day.